Yigi Uria, Nigalan Banda, Gopu Mbulu, Uria Burrow Janan. Hello, welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome our creator country. We the Turrbling Banda people are the custodians of the waterways and country. I'd like to pay my respects to all of our ancestors and all of our elders, past and future, as we all now work, stand, and play. Wish you all a warm uria. Welcome. Kariyunagan. Thank you.
This song, Love Works, that Sharon and Nikki have been working on for 3.5 days, so which was a song that Charlotte picked for her own funeral. She wasn't even 8 years old, but she picked this song. It's an obscure song off an album that Graham, even to get the sheet music was difficult, wasn't it? I had to track Graham down on tour for him to send through the sheet music. So Sharon only got to practice that on the keyboards in the last couple of days. It's a song called Love Works, and Charlotte, I don't know why it was her favourite song, but it just was her favourite song. A guy called Steve Tanner from St Patrick's School ended up learning the words, very similar to what these girls have done, and sang it at Charlotte's funeral at 2 days' notice. So it was an incredibly emotional thing, and just to round that bit off, when we went to put all the flowers and that away after Charlotte's funeral, there was this wonderful bunch of flowers from Graham and Lynn Connors, can you believe it? So, even though they couldn't be there at the funeral. So it's very special for us, and I know Nikki and Sharon are going to do a great job, but I'm just begging everyone if you can just listen to the lyrics and you know, don't be too hard on the ladies with it. You just have to learn it. Graham did tell me as well that no one has recorded this song, you know, when he recorded it in 1993 that he's aware of, and maybe no one's even sung it. So this potentially could be the first public rendition of Love Works. And so without any further ado, before we start the official opening stuff, I'd just like to start with this song. So here we go with Nikki and Sharon.
Surrounded by high rises that block out the sunlight for most of the day. Yet on a small balcony she tends a garden where the flowers bloom perfectly in the gray. And when people ask why she does it, oh, Mrs. Turner will say, love works in the midst of all this love. I tell my flowers I love them, all this love works, they heal and they grow, 'cause even the flowers know love works. Mrs. Turner keeps a life-size portrait of her husband William, a soldier who failed to return from the Second World War. And each night she sits and knits and talks to him as if he just walked through the door. And when people ask why she does it, Mrs. Turner will say, 'cause I'm sure love works. In the midst of all this, love works. Each day I tell my Bill I love him, and love works. In the midst of all this, love works. And he hears, I know, he's with me wherever I go. Love works. And every morning Mrs. Turner takes a short walk to the corner to light a candle and say a prayer at St. Paul's, with a bunch of fresh cut flowers and the memories of her William. She's a beautiful example to us all. How love works. In the midst of all this, love works. Each day, somewhere a prayer is answered, and love works. In the midst of all this, love works. God heals and it shows in ways we may never know. Love works. In the midst of all this, love works. God heals and it shows in ways we may never know. Love works.
Charlotte's Wood, you know, as I said, could have all been houses. There's a whole range of things that are going on here, but I do need to go through some critical, important things that have made this possible, because it's not Jackie and I that can do this, it's a community thing, and we need this to continue. So, first of all, I'd like to thank the council for agreeing to the first 20 acres of Charlotte's Wood, which is going to be incorporated with these first blocks along Logan Road. I know we've got a few people who are owning rocks out there at the moment that are going to be their blocks in a few months' time. But this park that we're standing on now has been christened Xanthoria Park, spelled with an X, potentially the only X park run in Australia. Actually the Southern Hemisphere, so stay tuned there. There's issues around that, and we've got Stewie who runs park runs behind there, so he knows what's all about there. So people run the alphabet basically. So this could one day be the X park run, and we've started the first 500 metres of that. We've got Cole Stollery out the back who's shaking his head. So thank council for that, but I've spoken to various councillors. Now we do have Councillor Carmen McInerney and Gary Kirk here. Yeah. So is Helen here?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, Helen's turned up. Sorry, Helen, I didn't realise you've
snuck
only.
in.
So Mayor Helen Blackburn's here as well. So yeah, and thanks for that. So it is important that it's not a trade secret. We've had a sign for 5 years on Logan Road that says we want to make 120 acres of this Charlotte's Wood. But there's issues in terms of maintenance and liability and all that sort of stuff. So I just want to ask everyone a question here, is if we could manage to get the powers that be to agree to increasing the 20 acres here to 120 acres over the next 5 years. Would it be a good idea? But in a democratic society, you've got to have the opposite as well. So, would it be a bad idea? I love democracy when it works. But there's a lot of boxes to tick and all the rest of it. We do have people who've travelled a fair way to be here, and this is the main reason why Jackie's given me this list. So we've got people, there you go. So we've got Lucy and Alicia, who are property owners. They've come all the way from Brisbane in no particular order. Is Alicia? They're responsible for orange ukulele, which is Tarrablang for butterfly. So well done. So we had a ceramic workshop here organised by Paul Perry, which is a great segue into mentioning Paul and Faye Perry, whose mosaics are world standard. They're that good. And let's give Paul. They're that good. It's extraordinary, and we just love the energy, the Indigenous engagement with the language. So we decided 3 or 4 years ago to include the Tarrablang names of different critters and creatures that are found in this area, and just had the pictures. So when you see Ungala, I think a lot of people now know that that's a sea eagle because the picture's a sea eagle. It's only got Ungala, it doesn't say sea eagle. So part of that is respect for our Indigenous friends and fantastic mates there, but also spreading the cultural message there. We also had lots of people who have been involved in physically creating Charlotte's Wood. Steve and the Lions Club and his team who put on the chips and that today. But tomorrow there'll be another 200 or more plants, including rock figs that are going to get planted, I think 7 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Anyone's not doing anything.
So come there, that's right, the invitation's there. So,
A barbecue breakfast as well.
yeah, so it's really, that's the ongoing thing. So we're up to 25,000 or something trees so far. So we've got another at least 75,000 trees. We are the biggest customer of Gin Gin and Bundaberg Landcare in terms of buying local stuff. We got a tray of, if you know your trees, Acacia chilii, one of the rarest acacias in the world. We picked that up at Tyrone yesterday, Molly and I, and they look fantastic. We want to get a few of them in the ground. It's the biggest population of wedge-leaf tuckaroos in the world here as well. Now we're collecting seeds from plants that we grew 5 years ago, and then we're propagating. There's someone here who's actually helped us propagate them. I'm sorry, I forget who that person was, but thanks for doing that. So this is a floral arc as well. It's not just about bush, and it's an incredible floral arc. So some of the other people that have been involved in that, we've had Steve Kelly here at all. Steve's not here. Steve's not here, but Steve and his team from Hoare Excavations have been absolutely amazing in helping us do what we do. Probably one person who's been more engaged in destroying his excavators and creating what is Charlotte's Wood is Gary and Jody over here. Gary, by his own admission, he spent most of his time destroying the environment, and now he's building Bill Moorhead water sensitive urban design dams and gullies, and knows the difference between a pied cormorant and a penguin now, which is kind of good. It's black and white and it's on a rock, it's a penguin. Yeah, okay. Mind you, that was 5 or 6 years ago, so he's well and truly past that stage there. We also have other people who have community members that have been involved in physically planting trees and stuff. So a lot of you people here have done that. There's maintenance, there's ongoing stuff in terms of weeding and watering and that. I know Graham and Debbie, Cynthia, they're just looking at Wendy. There's so many faces here. I can't name everyone, of course, but the engagement, the overall engagement and support has been amazing. And people are saying it's hard to get volunteers to do things. I think we've got 25 volunteers, is that right, for tomorrow? Like, we are on steroids here, like we've got something going on, and it is so super duper good. So there's little jobs to do too, just tying flagging on trees so we know we don't, we can find them when we whip a step and that sort of thing. So we've got that going on. So people who've travelled, I just want to mention some of those people now. So I've already mentioned Lucy and Alicia. We've got Greg and Glenn, who were in West Papua with me only a few days ago. There they are over there in the background. So they've just come here all the way up from the Sunshine Coast. We've got two very special people that need mentioning. One is Don Wood. Where's Don? Don's over here. Anyone who knew about Logan Road with coffee and cars that went for years? Don's brother John was the John Wood from that. John unfortunately died in 2021. Hated dogs but loved Manchita, our dog. Don has purchased and we've installed a chair, John Wood's chair, as you come in on the left hand side there. Beautiful garden with some nice words there, and also Paul, as Paul does, is a fantastic mosaic that has that there. Bloke who probably, when we owned a building company once upon a time, would have done the site cleans and preparation of 500 houses. Would that be right, John? Where's John? Johnny Reid. Oh, there he is, over there. He's hiding there under his leather hat. John's wife Tracy passed away not very long ago, and she loved here at Headlands. She loved Headlands, and so John's provided a memorial chair in the council preferred colour of lavender, which incidentally was Tracy's favourite colour, and we didn't have to get it repainted. So thanks for that. It is very easy when you look at what we're talking about here to forget about the people that just do the mundane things. So we've got Stevie Watts, who's our mower man. You'll see him running around. Is Tempo here at all? Matthew Templeton? He mows around the wetland for us. He's not here. Where's Balin? Is Balin here at all? Balin's an absolute bloody legend. Every kid in Australia should be a Balin. And he's a Broncos supporter. And at the last minute, he's refereeing like at a national competition for touch football, and his dad goes, "Hey, we should get some tickets and go to the grand final." And so he goes down there and watches Reece slide through 5 of the worst offenders in the country and score an easy try. No, the best try I've ever seen in the grand final. So congratulations to the Broncos. But just so you know, since I last paid him for what he does, he's mowed Central Perk 11 times. 11 times, can you believe that? So there's so many people here that have been involved in so many different aspects of Charlotte's Wood. This is the first 20% of 120 acres. So this is the 5 or 6 years. We need this momentum to keep going, to just allow this special thing to happen. I just wanted to mention Alex and Estelle as well. Alex does all the legal stuff that we have happening. Mick Hoare, he's been our principal contractor. Inside SJC surveyors have been our surveyors since 19 in different iterations since 1990. So it's a long time. So I think we've got 4 different people that have been with us now. Empire Engineering are the ones who go into bat with Bill's crazy wetland things. Oh, can we put an extra pond there? And Gary, no, not like that. It looks too straight. It's got to have a bit of... One of my words that I use, it's an engineering term by the way, it's called shimmy shimmy. I want some shimmy shimmy, that looks too structured. It's got to look natural. So they worked me out a little bit, which is kind of cool. I've mentioned Landcare, the fantastic volunteers. I did now just very, very briefly just want to pull up, just ask a couple of people just to come up. So Don's come all the way from Melbourne to represent the Wood family with John Wood. So if you'd like to just say a couple of words, Don, I would appreciate it.
How do you file an act like that, eh? I have to read it because I'm a bit nervous. I don't know anybody here really except my, I suppose you'd call him my step-nephew, Justin, over there, Justin Wood. Justin Wade, Bundy Bikes, if you're looking for a bike, good bikes. So I'm going to read a bit of this, sorry about that. And it's a few more than a few words, but anyway. Losing a family member is always challenging. And for us, during COVID in Victoria, there was perhaps more due to the quarantine regulations. We couldn't get up here. The unexpectedness of it. He got a bump on the head and we don't know how. He was 75 and a half, fit at last, I've got to say that. And what else was it? Just all of that stuff put together, the tyranny of distance was really tough. And when we finally got up to here, because we met a number of people that John knew. There were the Rays from Moore Park. I don't know, Ray Vandersea and Ray Hawkins. I don't know if they made it here. They were fantastic at the time. Well, I just lost everything there. There was, of course, Bill. I hadn't met Bill before, and boy, that was an experience. I can tell you. But it was lovely. I mean, I've got to say that. He put me in contact with some lovely people, Nikki and Byron, and they were especially fantastic because when I wanted to put John's ashes somewhere, and this is a bit away from Charlotte's Web, but it's down at the Young Circle. Byron said, "Yeah, look, that's fine. Wasn't asking for permission. I was just saying, is it okay? Is it respectful?" And that sort of light. And he said, "Yeah, and would you like to do it the Bunga Way?" And I said, "Yeah, fantastic," because John was involved in NARDOC, and he loved putting on a vest and directing traffic and stuff. I missed all that, Gene. I don't like cars. Anyway. Byron said, "Look, I'll tell you how to do it," and I did it. And I went down there and lots of tears and a bit of laughter because I couldn't get the ashes to do what I wanted the ashes to do. But we got it in there, and I was telling Nicky about it earlier about what I put in. But I happened to find a stone that looked like a turtle, and I think that suited him. And I put little stones around there so I could find it again. I found it yesterday, and it was still there. Wow. And I even checked under the rock. I mean, it's a bit weird, but I did. It was still there. So that was good too. But Bill helped, he sort of facilitated all that, and maybe, with your loss, he understood it from inside here. And this is all about heart and spirit. I mean, Charlotte's Wood is all about heart and spirit. You being here is about heart and spirit. The support that we're given is about heart and spirit. So, I think I'm going to finish sort of there. It's all about heart and spirit. Keep it going. I'm looking forward to coming back to see Charlotte's Wood when it's 120 acres. Because I think it'll be fantastic. And I went and had a bit of a sit down there, as I said yesterday, down on the seat, and thought about John for a while. And it's a special place. So I hope you get that chance to walk around and enjoy it, and keep this whole thing going. And I look forward to coming back again. Thank you.
So just a few other names, because it is a one-off opportunity here probably as well. We've got Colin Follett, he's 103 today. He's no, he's not. Colin's only 96. Cole still does work for us, and Denise as well. DJ and Tyler were our traffic control today as well. And they're driven all the way down from Rockhampton just to be here. There's Mick Hoare, he snuck in. You allowed to smile, Michael. Thank you for being here as well. And I'm sure I have forgotten other people, but in reality, who else? Who have I forgotten? Molly! If he called himself Grant, I'd remember him, but he calls himself Molly. But no, he doesn't. I call him Molly, and that's my fault. So Molly's my right-hand man, we all know that, and that's great. And there's Kayla's here. There's just so many wonderful people that have been involved in lots of stuff. I admit I forgot Louis Raybine, who helps Paul do all the grinding and all the rest of it, and puts letterboxes up the right way when they're around the wrong way and that sort of stuff. The Softies guys, you know who you are. Hayden, Ben's here. Chris is here. Worst gambler. He rode Buckaroo to last on Saturday. 25 lengths last. Thanks for the tip, Chris. But look, and there's Skip and Helen. There's so many people. I really got to stop there. But look, we've got music till 7. How good are the Spargo boys? The wind's dying down here, so that's going to be awesome. There's stacks of food. And if you want to upset my son, you ask him a question today. What's the news? He's got to tell you. I'm not allowed to tell you that. I got married last year. So please ask Jack about that. And have a great evening, everyone, and let's celebrate Charlotte's Wood. Jackie, do you want to say it?
Sorry for one thing. So I wrote all this but you know, it's always tricky. There's lots of people here that actually did know Charlotte, you know, through her life and really supported her and their friendships, and it's wonderful to see so many of them here today because it has been a long time now of living without Charlotte. So I can see lots of faces. I'll smile at you all, but thank you so much for coming. It's just lovely to see everybody, and I think we really like coordinating today, working with the Lions and with Molly. Like, wow, we've got a really good team, and really appreciate it. And without our long-standing people like Gary, Collins, everybody, we wouldn't be here today. Yeah, so thank you. And it's been 12 years today since we purchased the initial block. So it doesn't happen overnight. I think people think those are greedy developers, but they don't realise the time frames involved from when you purchase a block to actually seeing construction. It's a very long time. It doesn't happen overnight. So yeah, anyway, thank you to everybody.
Thank you.